on their Azure AD group membership. customized items for your Workbooks are implemented by using Kusto query language queries to generate interactive reports that display graphs, charts, and tables.